Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah wahda, wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'da, amma ba'd. Surah Yusuf. There will be some question at the beginning, and take your notebook and pen out and you can write the answers to that. But keep it to yourself. You'll get the answer as we go on. If you don't know the answer, just leave it blank and move forward. Okay. Who was the father and grandfather of Yusuf alayhi salam? Just write down in the piece of paper. If you don't have, you can borrow from someone. Otherwise, just keep in mind. No problem. If you have a phone, you make a note of that. Next, name the youngest brother of Yusuf alayhi salam. Which part of Quran, which juz of Quran, Surah Yusuf is mentioned in? How many times the name of Yusuf alayhi salam mentioned in Quran? How many times in Surah Yusuf and how many times altogether in Quran? Which city or area Yusuf alayhi salam was living in as a child? How many brothers does Yusuf alayhi salam have altogether? If you have phone, the adults can write the answers there. Just a keep as a note. Just come in this habit of starting taking notes. Even if you know the answers. That's the adab of the class. Everyone should take notes. Sometimes we think that I'm above that. I don't need to. Always do it. Why was he the most beloved son of his father? Okay, so let's start. So, answers coming. Surah Yusuf is a Makki surah. So what is the distinction between Makki and Madani surah? How do we say it's Makki? Just write down the note. Makki surah, every surah or ayah that was revealed before migration, before Rasulullah migrated from Makkah to Medina, that was after 13 years of his prophethood. From there to Medina, everything is called. So before that, everything is called Makki. Every surah is Makki. Whether it is revealed, wherever it is revealed. Even in heavens, then it is Makki. Then he migrated. So anything that was revealed after that time is called Madani, Medina. Even if it was revealed in Makkah when he was performing Hajj. In Mina, in Arafat, in Taif, everywhere. Wherever he was. As long as it was after the migration, it is called Madani. Okay, so this is Makki, means before migration. How many ayat altogether? Easy, 111, 111. So the Jewish people from the area, around that area in Makkah, they asked this question because some people were trying to find out the veracity, the verification of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the truthfulness of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's claim that he was a prophet. So they said, how do we know? Can you give us some clue? We can find fault in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So there are many questions they asked. One such question was, ask him about the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. And how come Yusuf alayhi salam's father was in Syria? That is where he was born and raised, the question. Syria. And how come, like Palestine area, is bigger? Syria in those days were called Asham, and Asham was a bigger country. It wasn't just so many different countries that are there. It was Palestine, there's Jordan, the Lebanon, and all that area there, Syria, all together. So how come he is found now in Egypt? How could he be in Egypt when he was a king in Egypt, say the Yusuf alayhi salam later on? So how could that be? Okay, so the question was how he managed to be in Egypt, okay? So Yusuf alayhi salam, he's been mentioned in Quran in Surah Yusuf 24 times with his name. So 24 times as Yusuf mentioned in Quran. And in two other surah, he's been mentioned once just by name as a mention of many prophets, among them comes Yusuf. In one surah, Surah An'am, and another surah is just his name. So that is just there, okay? So altogether 26 times. So what is his lineage? Ibrahim alayhi salam, we all know Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam, and he had two sons, one from each of the two wives. So Hajra and what is the second wife's name? Sarah. Because Sarah is the first wife actually. So Sarah and the second one is Hajar or Hajar. Hagar. Okay. So Sarah had a son called Ishaq. But that was the second born. The first was Ismail al-Islam that was born through Hajar. You know that story, yeah? I hope you will understand that. So Ishaq alayhi salam, his son is Yaqub alayhi salam, his son is Yusuf alayhi salam. From first wife, Yaqub alayhi salam had 10 sons. And from second wife, he had 2 sons. This is Yusuf and the younger one, Benjamin, Joseph and Benjamin. Benjamin in English is Binyamin in Arabic. Okay, so Binyamin, Hebrew. So these are the 2 sons. So your youngest one was Binyamin. So Ismail alayhi salam, through his children, no one was prophet until after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam became the prophet. So he was the final prophet, and he came from the lineage of Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salam. Okay, so they're all children of Ibrahim alayhi salam. That is why he's called Abul Anbiya. He's father of prophets. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started this surah because they asked about Yusuf alayhi salam by saying, we say it together. I will say and then you will repeat after me. So make sure you do it tajweed and together. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام را. تلك آيات الكتاب المبين. كتاب المبين. تلك آيات الكتاب المبين. Alif, Lam, Ra. These are the 3 letters which you find in certain surah that they begin with. And they are recited separately. And they're called, what are they called? Muqatta'at. Huruf muqatta'at. Broken letters. Muqatta' means something which has been broken. Okay, so that's the term meaning. Muqatta'at. So these are the letters you pronounce like separate letters. Don't say alar or Allah or whatever. It is not alam, alif, lam, mim, ha, mim. Okay, so alif, lam, ra, you know it. They are pronounced separately. Tilka ayatul kitab. These are the ayat, these are the verses of the manifest and clear-cut book, the very clean book. Okay, so these are the verses, ayat of the clear book. And what are they? Allah says, إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا عَرَبِيًّا لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. Indeed, we have revealed this Quran in Arabic, as an in Arabic form, Arabic language, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ, so that you may take some heed, you may understand, you may become mature, use your aql. Okay, so in Arabic, people knew Arabic. Mentioned in the people who understood Arabic. And obviously, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it that clear, the idea was to take lesson from لَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ, not to just recite and get some idea from history and get attracted by the beautiful story that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, but rather knowing the lessons, taking the lesson and applying that to our lives. So everything that you read and understand, try to apply to your lives. Okay? With बीच में बैठी जाए जाके साथ साथ बीच में बैठे घर जाके बैठे इनके दरमियान कोनों में मत बैठो बीच में किसी बच्चे की बात करने की बात है You should need this stability. पोल के बराबर बैठे और जो बात करे उसको खड़ा कर दे, खाली इशारा करे, you should be standing up. نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين. Just a quick announcement. AV60XXH on the inside is blocking someone. खड़े हो जाइए फौरन ताकि पता चल जाए जिसकी गाड़ी है, खड़े हो जाओ भाई. AV60XXH. Whose car is that? पंचर कर दो उसकी गाड़ी, वहीं फौरन अभी जाओ बाहर जाके. अच्छा ये आ गया, पकड़ा गया बंदा. ठीक है. आपको उधर क्या परेशानी है? उधर क्या परेशानी? इधर बैठ जाओ. نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين. We are going to recite to you the best of the stories through our revelation onto you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of this Quran. And before this revelation, you were unaware. You did not know. You didn't know about that. So we are going to tell you the story to suggest that the people who thought that you were not a true prophet, this is a sign. You didn't know. Now you know it. You are telling them exactly the same detail as they had in their previous books, the people of book. That's a proof that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the final prophet, or the true prophet at least, getting revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How else would he know when he didn't study that, when he didn't have the clue about it? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was unlettered for that reason, so that no one questioned, oh, you actually learned from such and such. Actually, they claimed, and it's mentioned in the Quran. Some people said, oh, you learned it from someone. But he never exposed himself to anyone. He didn't go out. He was just a common individual. So he wouldn't learn from other people. And he couldn't read. So obviously he was then became the master of the master. He was the most learned man ever to be through the teacher Jibreel, direct teacher. So obviously when Jibreel taught him, then he became full knowledgeable about that. Until that time he was not. Okay. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it very clear to him that this is a story you're gonna say. So the story starts now. إذ قال يوسف لأبيه يا أبت إني رأيت 11 كوكبا إني رأيت 11 كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين. Remember, now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, recall the event. The event starts like this. When Yusuf alayhi salam said to his father, "O my father, indeed I saw 11 kawkaban, 11 stars, washams and sun, wal qamar and moon. Ra'aytuhum, I saw them, li sajidin, they are all prostrating before me. They're all doing sajda to me. Sajda of respect, sajda of honoring." So Yusuf alayhi salam saw this dream and he was like, what is the interpretation of this dream? So he came to his father and he wanted to know. So he asked his father, he mentioned this dream to his father. And Allah says, we'll come to that in a minute. This is how, so how many stars? 11. So that he had 11 brothers. So 11 stars are his brothers. Sun and moon are mom and dad. Now, one question that sometimes people may ask is, his mom passed away, Yusuf al-Islam's mom, and the father was looking after. So this was Yusuf al-Islam's aunt, who then became the second wife, like the subsequent wife, a third wife actually, and then she was the one looking after them. Okay, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the hadith told us, al-khalatu ka'um, or kama qala. The khala is like your mom. Khala is like your mother. And that is why Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu anha, when she came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, every lady has got a kunya, agnomen. Everyone has got a special nickname. They all call so-so, some Salama, Darda, so-and-so. I haven't got any kunya because I haven't got any child. Can I get something about it? What do I do? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you can take your kunya for your nephew. Nephew being Abdullah ibn Zubayr. Abdullah ibn Zubayr was Aisha's sister's son. Okay, so she was called Ummu Abdullah. Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu anha's kunya is Ummu Abdullah, the mother of Abdullah. So mother as in khala. So khala is like your mother. That is why khala has the right. Khala is your mother's sister. Has the right to look after you if you are, if your mom is not there, not living. Okay. We talk about there are certain types of dream and there are certain different levels of dream. And I would leave that. The only basic point to understand is this. There's certain things that we see in our dream, which is what you have done throughout the day. You see whatever you have been doing throughout the day, and it just gets a rewind of that story, whatever happened in the day. So sometimes something you see and that gets transformed into dream. And that's hadithun nafs. That's like, has no value. It's just, unwinding yourself. So your body is trying to recharge everything and then try to align everything. So brain is trying to put all those, signals that we get with each glimpses. The brain gets signal. Everything you look around, it all comes and get imprinted in your brain. So brain has to somehow manage it and put the rubbish bit out, good bits here and there. So that is what we get revealed back to ourselves in our dreams. So we just see that is called hadith al-nafs. And there are tasweer al-shaytan. The shaitan at times play and put some ideas, fantasize it, sometimes for good, sometimes for bad. It is certain things that would cause you, have sometimes bad dreams, sometimes good dreams, sometimes scary dreams, very scary dreams, nightmares. The shaitan does that whichever way he wants to play, depending on how much he has control over you. So depending on how much sins you have been committing throughout the day and night, depending on how much disrespectful you are and disobedient you are to authorities, the shaitan has easy access to you. Depending on how much you allow your ears to music and your eyes to pictures and images. So those are the two main reasons why shaitan and how shaitan travels inside men, human beings. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk about eyesight and hearing and protecting them all the time. Although we have 5 senses, what are the 5 senses? We have sight, that we see. What is the other one? Hearing, smell, touch, yes. And the final one, taste. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk about these as well, but most often these two. Why? Because these are the two major reasons for shaitan to misguide us. That's the easy access for shaitan. So that is why Quran commands to lower your gaze. I mean, you feel sometimes, how could you just walk and do lowering your gaze? You have to lower your gaze. Keep your gaze lower. Lower in a sense, you can see that much. That's enough. It shouldn't be what is happening. You're not meerkat. You're not meerkat, are you? You're not meerkat? That's what they do all the time because they're scared of enemies around. So they have to be like that. You are not like that. You have to be lowering your gaze, walking properly in a nice way. Not lying like this, down like this. So that whenever your next few steps are, that's enough to know. If there was something coming, you would know. Okay? So keep wandering around looking for signs, even driving, you see people driving like this. Even if it's all mubah picture, all permissible picture, this is what impression gets into your brain. And that's what easy access for shaitan to just try and navigate in between and put something, whatever he wants to put. And you feel completely helpless at that time because you have given yourself up to shaitan. Okay. It's very important to control the gaze. And the third category is ilham. Ilham. Ilham is the inspiring. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspire people with certain good things. Sometimes you will see someone passing away. There's a sign for that. Sometimes you see a dream that I've lost all my tooth. Yeah? And there's different meaning. Sometimes you see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in your dream. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he comes to your dream, this is him. Shaitan cannot ever come in his guise at all. But when he comes, what does that mean? It could be sometimes very good, sometimes very bad. Depends on what it is. Sometimes he's coming to punish you because he's unhappy with some of your action. But generally, it doesn't happen. So it's all about the dream interpretation, and they're experts in the field. Who is the Imam of this? Who is the Imam? Ibn Sirin. Muhammad ibn Sirin, rahmatullahi alayhi. Say Muhammad ibn Sirin, rahmatullahi alayhi. He was the Imam from Tabi'in who knew the interpretation of Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him this special knowledge. Like Imam Bukhari has special knowledge of Hadith, Imam Abu Hanifa has special knowledge of fiqh, and many other Imam has obviously. So likewise, he was the Imam of interpretation of the dream. He's written a book, Kitab al-Ru'ya and others. Okay, so we leave that. That is why you're not supposed to disclose your bad dreams to someone who might not be your well-wisher, who might not be knowledgeable person. He might tell you something, whatever he says, that can become manifest, that can happen. So if he just funny someone who wants to harm you and he said, oh, that is what it means, and it may happen. The hadith to suggest that. So that's why you never disclose your dream to someone who you can't trust, their knowledge of, their integrity with you, their love and connection with you. Don't do that. They should be wise and your well-wishers. Okay? And many of the dreams are just rubbish. They're just waste of time. So don't just ignore them. There could be one or two good ones. When that happens, then you can ask some scholars. We would chat में कुछ सवालात अगर है तो आप देखते रहिए वो बाद में देखिए. So dreams of prophet, all the prophets are true dreams. They are always true dreams. Shaitan cannot cause any trouble, and their life is so pure that everything that happens is going to be manifest and clear. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and all the prophets, their dream is true. So what Yusuf alayhi salam had witnessed at that point in the dream, that was a true dream as well. Although he wasn't a prophet yet, but there was a sign about this. Okay. So I'll just move on because some ruling related to dream. If I see something in my dream, some individual, and he tells me or she tells me to do something which is haram or wrong, can I act on that? Even if a pious person, Imam Abu Hanifa comes to your dream and say, you know what, don't fast today. You're allowed to commit that sin. No one can come to your dream to tell you anything which is against the Sharia of Muhammad. It would never happen, but if ever, so you could know that that was someone coming in the guise of that Imam or that Shaykh and that master who Shaitan is trying to dodge me. Okay, so you can never act upon a dream which is against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's teaching. Okay, Sharia doesn't become, even if you feel that, oh, it's from Quran, someone is saying this is Quranic ayah, although it's not in Quran, or someone say Quranic ayah say that you can do it. No, not at all. We have got Quran perfected and given to us in a preserved way by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We've got clear understanding of Sharia, ulama obviously. Then you can ask them. Is that clear? So never take dream as a final thing. Special board. It doesn't become a binding to act upon. If someone says in your dream, Go and perform a Hajj. Oh my goodness, I don't have money to go there. Do I have? No, you don't. You can't. Sharia doesn't get fixed or implemented based on what is so ingrained. Yes, there may be something that you may practically be able to do. Some nice person comes to you and says, you know what, do it. So you saw your great-grandfather, Ibrahim alayhi salam, or any other prophet, or anyone who tells you something good to do, which is mustahab, and you can do it. Ask the Imam, ask the scholar, and he will say, yes, go ahead and do it. Because there must be some blessing in it. He's asking you to do it for a good reason. Okay, so that would happen. That is fine. But don't consider it a binding from Sharia. It is not a binding from Sharia. It is just a quick advice, a good recommendation from a well-wisher. That is fine. Many people do fall prey to the dream. If you ever see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in your dream, and some people, they never get a chance to see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in their dream. So we should make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's fine, but don't get too bogged down about it. Seeing Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is beneficial for the person who is practicing. If you are good generally and a practicing individual, and you see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the dream, then that is good for you. But you are bad, you know. You don't even pray, you're involved in sin, and you seeing Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in your dream, then that is a big trial, very big trial. Many a time, either you come back to the truth through that big gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or you succumb to your bad destination in this world and the life hereafter. So no one should ever feel comfortable and feel good that, oh, so I saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in my dream, I'm so special. Not at all. Not at all. Seeing Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the dream is not required at all to go to Jannah. But if you get it and you are practicing, that is why the pious imams and the pious people, when they see, it's a blessing for them. For us, it may be, it can be, if we are good and if we try to improve our situation. But generally, it is a big, big responsibility. So one should try and be good, and inshallah we will be able to see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But don't go too much after that, because that's you're taking a big responsibility. You understand that? Good. So if you see a bad dream, what you should do? Don't get scared about that. Allah will help you. Just on the left side, if you could wake up, if you've woken up in that dream, turn your position to the other side. On the left side, just say like this. Spittle, spittle, not a big blob coming out of your saliva, no, not like that. There's a like this, small spittle, okay? And then say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So Allah will save you, and then turn onto the other position that you were sleeping. So that is why it is important to sleep how you sleep. On your right side, sunnah. The best thing is to write on your right side with your hand under the palm under the right cheek. So you would get good dreams if you have recited your quls, 4 quls, Ayatul Kursi, Tasbih Fatima. Then you'll be better. What happened? We sleep watching cartoon, listening to something, phone, especially adults. Children, hopefully they don't. They might make them do some dua, I hope. I don't know whether these moms still exist or not. They were once a day, once upon a time. Mom and dad, they would come to the children. Now they read story time. And they read stories to the young kids, and the kids sleep with that. If the story is just of someone other than like pious people about Islam, about something good, then it's only mubah, but you're not supporting your kid. They're gonna keep thinking about that. They are what you call Pinocchio or Harry Potter or what else? Yeah, Cinderella. So obviously giving them all the false ideas. And look at all those cartoons, all those stories, they're completely full of rubbish. They've got this much of good, very small amount, a lot of crap in it. They're telling you to run away with a man who you never get to know. He's not your husband, he's not your even cousin or brother or something. And you leave your family, run out of the house with that man. Are you allowed to do that? He's telling you you continue to lie, keep getting the day you'll hear all the film or the cartoon with your lying. You're the one who just goes out and do all the crap in the society. You're still considered whatever, cool dude. So this is what all the cartoons tell you and teach you. That's what cartoons are. No cartoon is free from these craps. They are literally corrupting your mind. You either kill someone in the game, you feel happy about killing, and you feel happy about that. You get points. I get that many. In the name of, oh, these are enemies or whatever. So no game is immune, to be honest. It's all like, so kind of, you feel like what to do. And someone mentioned about some new cartoon coming up. Anyway. قال يا بني لا تقصص رؤياك لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين. Oh, he said, Ya Bani, oh my children, Ya Bani, oh my son. Yusuf al-Islam's father now responding, saying, oh my son, don't disclose your dream. Don't tell your dream to your brothers. They might plot against you. Indeed, Shaitan is a clear enemy of men. The father is very wise. He's a prophet himself, Yaqub alayhi salam. Now he saw the dream. He already understood that this son of mine is very righteous, very pious, the most obedient. He was so lovely that everyone loved him. And there will be a story about that at some point. Anyway, so the father said, don't mention it to your brothers, because even the brothers can get jealous. Your brothers can become jealous of you. What does that mean? Even your own very close friend, family could be jealous. So that is why you do not always disclose your good things. I've achieved this, and telling it to someone. Always tell the individual who you know is trustworthy, is well-wishing. Don't suspect others either. Don't suspect, but be careful. Why do you have to boast about something that you got? So Yusuf alayhi salam, he was very young. He's about 10 at that point. So he saw this dream, and the older brother knew the dream interpretation straight away, because it's very clear-cut. What is the sign? What is the dream telling you? Everyone is going to submit to you. Means you are going to be above everyone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would make even your father, who is a prophet, who has higher status than you, even he would, with regards to you getting the status later on, they would all bow down to you out of respect. That's the biggest status one can ever imagine. Your own parents are told to be respecting you. And normally, the children have to respect him. Obviously, Yusuf al-Islam always respected his father. But in this case, he achieved even higher level. And this is at the age of 10. So what would happen? The people around, the brothers, said, how come? Yaqub al-Salam was a prophet, so he would never have any problem with that. All fathers, remember this another important point. Every father, every mother, these are the only two people in your life. And the teacher. So teacher is one category, your parents is one category. These are the only two people who would see you better than them, their expectation. You go ahead of your teacher. The most happy moment for a teacher is that student got above the teacher level. When he said, I have done the justice, I have trained him good, I have taught him good, and he's way above me, alhamdulillah. And more so your parents. The father, who is a woodcutter, is some simple man, a laborer. He finds his father, his son, his daughter working, studying and doing something and achieving heights in knowledge, in dini knowledge, in dunya knowledge, everything. If they continue to accept the father, they continue to feel pride in that. Moms are always happy about their children going ahead of them. But the children never respect that. They always start saying, Mom, what do you know? You don't know anything. Then you don't know anything. I know better because I've studied. But subhanAllah, they are the one who trained you, who supported you through that, so that you become very much good. And the minute you become good, you start telling mom and dad off, saying, now, what do you know? You are ignorant. You haven't got any idea. You're jahil. You're ignorant. You've got very little knowledge. Isn't that what we say? See how bad we are. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would ask about all of that. What is your attitude towards your parents? Be very careful. So, Yusuf alayhi salam, being a very lovely kid, a very good boy, he had his older brothers. The brothers are playing, tackling, and trying to see and things. Brother actually had a bit of idea. Why? Because it's quite natural. Yaqub alayhi salam, until that time, did not know who will be the next prophet in line. He knew it will be someone of, but he knew that Yusuf is the best one, and he is going to be, but he hasn't had a confirmation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a revelation. And he thought there would be at a time when Yusuf would be big enough, so then there'll be signs to say that adult, big boy, a man who could control, who can be, independent and save himself. He's only 10 now. We just got this dream, and I know it means there's a clear hint now. I already had a feel, but not a definite answer. Now this is happening. What do I do? So he got so scared. He said, subhanAllah, if the dream is known to the brothers, they will feel very jealous. They will feel very jealous because it could have been any of my sons, but it is already now known that it is Yusuf. It's quite common to feel jealous, isn't it? Your father, your mother prefer one of your siblings, your brother and sister. That, oh, you are good today. I did that yesterday, Dad. So you want a praise back. Even if your mom and dad praises your sibling on one day that they've done something good. Oh, isn't she very good? She's taken all the plates back to the kitchen. I did that yesterday. This is jealousy. This is why you're saying it. You cannot see mom and dad even praising your sibling for one moment. Mom and dad gave extra biscuit or whatever to one of you, extra pakora that was left with her own one. She said, okay, one of mine that's left over. I don't want, you can have it. I want it. That's all jealousy. It's quite common thing. Yeah? So the jealousy is in human nature. That's why we have to control it. Unfortunately, the brothers had that issue. They were expecting, and they all felt entitlement that I am the one, maybe me. Because they thought we are the people who are strong, big, and we are the ones supporting the family. We work for father on the field. We graze all the animals. We are the men. This boy, what does he do? What has he got to do? He's so weak, only 10-year-old. So they had this jealousy. So Yusuf al-Islam was very, very clear and naive. He didn't know the jealousy bit. And Yaqub al-Islam said that it's not as a command. Don't you do it. Not like this. He said, oh, my lovely boy, don't mention it to anyone. And Yusuf al-Islam, obviously, after some days, forgot about it. And other siblings, they're playing, and every so often, say, you know what? Because they could see, and it's quite natural, you could see a change, little change in the attitude of Yaqub alayhi salam. Now that he knows this is second in line for sure, you have to start working. Now you have to work to protect him. Now you could see that Yaqub alayhi salam is a little bit, yeah, fine. Not letting Yusuf be alone with the brothers all the time, unless he is keeping an eye. Oh, okay, yeah, play. And then, where is Yusuf? So the boys are clever. They are children of Prophet as well. They're wise, they're adults. They could see how come our father is paying too much attention to Yusuf now. It wasn't the case before. And father had this idea is going to happen. And perhaps he had a revelation about that from before, so he knew it. There'll be something, not exactly the detail, but something. The boys are clever enough, so they then phone and Yusuf every so often. Oh, Yusuf, let's go. And what happened? And Yusuf alayhi salam, Oh boy, he discloses dream to them. And unbeknown to him that, they will be completely turning against him to the max, to this. You would never ever be jealous to your sibling to try and kill them. Here they did. Isn't that strange? This is what they did. So what happened? As I mentioned before, so you will tell your dream to someone who is knowledgeable, who is godly, who will make dua, and be most loving to you. I leave some of those lessons because some small kids might not be benefiting from that. So jealousy, remember, that's one of the worst traits one can have. Hasad. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, it devours your good deeds like fire devours the dried wood. It just burns it. You would lose all your good deeds. So what is the cure? How can you get rid of your jealous mind, jealous heart? Remember the blessing of Allah subhanahu. This is Allah's favor, Allah's blessing. Allah could give to whomsoever He wishes. You can't question Allah's judgment. Iblis did question Allah's judgment, didn't he? He said, why, Ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I am better than him. Why are you giving this status to Adam? It should be me. So first of all, remember, all of those are the blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah is in charge, and we haven't got any entitlement to any of that. We don't deserve any of that. So Allah could give to whomsoever, whatever He wants. Are you going to question Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Subhanallah. So remember that when I get jealous from someone, I am questioning Allah's judgment. Ya Allah, why did you give him, not me? No, I should have been. That's bad. Okay, and then read Surah Falaq, Surah Nas, especially Surah Nas has got, Surah Falaq has got this dua about Hasad. So you should make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The person, the practical step is this. The person who you feel jealous about, start making dua for him. So you see, he has got this special something. So the person who you feel jealous, oh, he's got very nice voice, his recitation is beautiful, he's got beautiful mobile phone, he's got this particular whatever attribute, he got first positions, I'm jealous of that. Whatever you're jealous of, whatever you are jealous of, start making that dua. Ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I am jealous of him being intelligent. Ya Allah, give him more intelligence. I'm jealous of him being very rich. Ya Allah, give him more money. I'm jealous of him being very knowledgeable. Ya Allah, give him more knowledge. Don't feel like, no, I don't want him to be more knowledgeable. Ya Allah, how could I? But you have to resist that. You don't want to say it, but say it. Ya Allah, give him more. Keep saying it every so often. Every time you feel jealous, start making dua for that individual. It will be very hard in the first few days, weeks, and slowly it will become your second nature. And once you realize that I am the one making dua for him, he's going up and up and up. Obviously, I'm supposed to do it. This is Allah's decision. Shouldn't be a problem. Ya Allah, give him even more till you come to the submission. That's how you submit and subdue your nafs. That's how you control yourself. That's how you restrain yourself. So what will you do? Whoever you feel jealous about your siblings, friends, neighbors, colleagues, whatever, start making dua for them in the thing that you are jealous about. Okay? So do that and you'll find out there's a beautiful dua about this, which you should order. Hopefully, this is the dua. اللهم ما أصبح بي من نعمة أو بأحد من خلقك فمنك وحدك لا شريك لك فلك الحمد ولك الشكر. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the morning say that, in the evening say that. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever blessing and favors, I have done my morning on. Whatever favors and blessings I have done my morning on, and anyone else with all those favors and blessings, they have done their morning on. It is all from you, Ya Allah. When you say that, then what it means, you're saying, any favor or blessing that I have, I can't be arrogant about. That you haven't got that, I have got this. See, you won't be arrogant because it's from Allah's favor to you. And when you see someone else and they've got that favor, this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I won't be jealous about that because it's from my Lord. So it would get rid of many diseases, this dua, reading 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the evening. You can get rid of your arrogance, pride in yourself. You would get rid of your jealousy against someone. You could get rid of your ujub, feeling big about yourself, not looking down upon someone else. You can get rid of your greed. I want to, you would never. Because you won't greed for something that someone else has, thinking this is my Lord's favor. You would get rid of the mistrust in Allah. So you would have the trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is my Lord's decision. I am happy. I am contented with that. And this is how you have already thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You get rid of your ingratitude. You be patient with that. Get rid of your impatience. So see, that is how many diseases you can get rid of just by reading this dua. Amazing dua. Okay, that's part 1. We do the part 2, and inshallah we'll finish early, inshallah. Here's the second one. Okay. How old was Yusuf alayhi salam when his brothers threw him in the well? How many days did he spend in the well? Which brother tried to save Yusuf alayhi salam from being killed? Who helped and comforted Yusuf alayhi salam in the well? Where were the caravan coming from for the trade? How many dirhams was Yusuf alayhi salam sold for? The first lot of questions you should have answers by now, yeah? Because we've gone through the question and answers were already in the talk. If you haven't picked that up, you're sleeping or fasting. وَكَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ وَكَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ وَيُعَلِّمُكَ مِنْ تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم. I just read it once so that we've done it in break form because you have got your Quran with you. So وَكَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ وَيُعَلِّمُكَ مِنْ تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ وَعَلَى آلِ يَعْقُوبَ كَمَا أَتَمَّهَا عَلَى أَبَوَيْكَ مِنْ قَبْلُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْحَاقَ إِنَّ رَبَّكَ عَلِيمٌ حَكِيمٌ. And thus will your Lord choose you and teach you the interpretation of dreams. Yusuf alayhi salam, he knew how to interpret the dream and perfect his favor on you and on the offspring of Yaqub alayhi salam, as he perfected it on your fathers Ibrahim and Ishaq. Verily, your Lord is all-knowing, all-wise. So he now learned how to interpret the dream. This was a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't just do it. Can't just come up with some ideas. Because it could be different thing on different individual. Sometimes due to the summer and the winter, same dream, different meaning. So that's a deep subject. It's Allah's favor, Allah says. It doesn't have to be as a favor, something material. The favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't have to be. It could be the favor. Yusuf alayhi salam, Allah says we have given them favor. What favor Yusuf alayhi salam had at that point? Money? No. Status? No. Allah's nearness, Allah's taqwa, friendship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's just been become the elect of the elects. Amazing, isn't it? And it's been promised the life hereafter. देखें बच्चे उठ के जो इसका जी चाहे चले जाए, हर बात को बताना क्यों पड़ता, बीच में बैठो जाके रोको. It is promised for the life hereafter, can also be for this world. Ibrahim alayhi salam said, we have given him al-hasana in this world. And what hasana he had? Only few people believed in it. The dream that Yusuf alayhi salam had, how long did it take? Wait. How long did it take before it become actualized, before it happened? The father answered, 40 years. You see that? Yeah, it says 40. 40 years. A dream doesn't need to be coming in front of you there and then. It could take up to 40 years. Yeah? In a few minutes. Wait. Okay. لقد كان في يوسف وإخوته آيات للسائلين. Indeed, in the story of Yusuf and his brother, there is sign. There are signs for the questioners, the people who ask questions. Now the signs coming. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala start telling us. Because you don't have Quran properly, so I read it so that you just listen. إذ قالوا ليوسف وأخوه أحب إلى أبينا منا ونحن عصبة إن أبانا لفي ضلال مبين. Remember, when they said, the brothers, they said, Yusuf and his brother, his younger brother, because they were orphaned from mother's side, so mother wasn't there. So Yusuf alayhi salam and Binyamin, their father was paying a bit more attention, and they were young as well compared to other siblings. They were all adults, and these are two very young ones. So they said, see, they are more beloved to our father, Yusuf and Binyamin. But we are the usba, we are the strong group. We are 10 physically able bodies, and these are weak ones. Our father has made a big mistake. He is completely, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's paying more attention and showing his love to those young ones when we are the one doing everything. Again, this idea, entitlement, sense of entitlement, sense that I want it, I needed it, I deserved it, me. That's what they had. And that's what caused many people to become depressed when they don't achieve. Initially jealous, trying to then, if they become even more corrupt with that, they started then questioning, why not me? Why not? Why they got all of that? Why me not being having all of that? As opposed to them. The jealousy continues to the point that we start plotting against them. And every plot, we feel even happier. We keep coming closer to Shaitan. Till it comes to a point that we just do anything for that and justify it. Justify it. And you would not find any sinner, any cruel person, anyone who is doing whatever atrocity, they would justify it. Always justify it. Saying because they did this, they deserve it. And they'll be happy with that. And we feel happy when they are in trouble. Okay? We are in this world for responsibilities. To perform whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the duties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bound us with. اقتلوا يوسف أو اطرحوه أرضا يخل لكم وجه أبيكم وتكونوا من بعده قوما صالحين. They said, kill Yusuf. Now they're saying together, kill Yusuf. And or cast him in the well, some open land, so that they are no more. And your father would have all his attention dedicated to you. He will be just looking at us. He will be just favoring us. All his love would be for us. And what is the actual favor they want? What is the actual favor? The next prophethood. He would choose me or one of us. And we are together. We are from same mother. They are from different mother. That's arrogance. That's pride. That's jealousy. That us and them mentality. And because if they become, then, let us try be in good books with our father. And these are the two young boys who we can sort out very easily. Either throw him or kill him or do whatever. This is what they're now planning. And what they said, وَتَكُونُوا مِنْ بَعْدِهِ قَوْمًا. Once we have done that, once we got rid of Yusuf al-Islam, then we'll become righteous people. We'll become very, very righteous. We will repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We will never make that mistake again. Don't we do that? Let me continue with this sin. Few more years, few more days. Just now. My haram, let this haram be, and I will become very good. One day I will become very good. After my GCSE, after my A levels, after my such and such, after I've done this, after I've just done this sin, then I will be good. Maybe, just give me a couple more years. I will become a very righteous person once I'm 60, and I will perform Hajj, and I'll be doing a number in the masjid. Until that time, please let me just continue with this sin. This is what they are doing. We won't do that. I'll be bad today, but tomorrow I'll be very, very good. No, but tomorrow, I will do something tomorrow. SubhanAllah. This is what happens. The jealousy leads to arrogance, and arrogance makes you completely blind. Innocent boy in the family, your true brother from your father's side, only 10-year, 12-year-old, you are happy to kill him together as true brothers. How could someone do that? And they're not ignorant people. They're children of Yaqub alayhi salam. They're children of Prophet. They have heard about and seen their grandfather, who was a mighty prophet, Ishaq alayhi salam. They must have heard about great-grandfather Ibrahim. Perhaps some of them might have seen him as well. Who knows, in their old days. Isn't that strange? You are children from pious family, righteous family, and can get corrupted. Shaitan is there to corrupt everyone. He's not going to leave anyone until he takes everyone to hellfire. The only people he can't insinuate and whisper for wrong is prophets. Other than prophet, everyone is open target for Shaitan, sitting duck really. And he's way cleverer than we are together. He can very easily, maneuver us in such a way that we wouldn't even know. We only find out once it's all done. And they are the earliest sin that you could see, as Abel and Cain had, two sons of Adam alayhi salam. Again, brother, jealousy, arrogance, killed the brother. Now they're killing the brother. They are the direct son of Adam alayhi salam, which suggests that it doesn't matter who you are children of. What is your lineage? What is where you belong to? Oh, because I'm born in a Muslim family, I will be good. No, not at all. People can go wrong. You're not children of Prophet. You are all children. We are all children of Prophet, by the way, yeah? Adam al-Islam children. So we're all children of Adam al-Islam. So we have, Nabi Zade to hai is tarah se. Lekin direct children. Okay? So plotting against your brother, lying to the father. How did they do that? We'll come to that in a minute. Breaking the tie of relationship, haram. Torturing an innocent young boy. Hurting father's feeling, and subhanallah. How could you do a prophet? قال قائل منهم لا تقتلوا يوسف وألقوه في غيابة الجب يلتقطه بعض السيارة إن كنتم فاعلين. So one of them said, from among the brothers, he said, don't kill him. He had a little bit of, sensibility, a little bit of taqwa, mild one. Although he wanted to get rid of him due to jealousy, he wanted to get rid of him due to jealousy. Except that he said, what's the point? We want to get rid of him. Doesn't have to be killing. You can just leave him, somewhere far distant, or perhaps throw him in the well. So he'll be there. Now, his idea was, we would throw him in the well, and some of the caravan would take him. I want him to be out of sight, but not killed, because at least he's our brother. So eldest brother was Reuben, or Judas. These are the two names mentioned about him. But they tried to save, he tried to save Yusuf al-Islam from being killed. So at least he had a little bit. Okay. Sympathy, per se. Brotherly, love. If that was love. It was inshallah. Now, if you were one of those brothers, what would you do? You would say, Stay quiet, can't be snitch, isn't it? You don't know, do you want to be a snitch? Isn't it? No, it can't be. You guys are so crazy. Mutant human being, isn't it? I can't be. No, remember that. It doesn't work like that. If you do not, you are committing a major sin. When there's something plotted against someone to harm him, and you knew it, and you kept it to yourself, I'm not part of it, I'm going. You heard it, you have to tell the person or someone who is in authority. Otherwise, you are accomplice to that. On the day of judgment, you will be punished. You can't hide it. No sin against anyone. You can't be accomplice to that. So they did it. That is why, don't worry about what people think. They call you snitch, so what? Say, yes, I am. And you do the same, and I'm going to tell the teacher, he called me snitch. If they do it again, tell them they're threatening me. And they'll be expelled from the school and you'll be fine. Yes? Don't worry about people. Always tell the truth to the right individual. Okay? You shouldn't be hiding anything. قالوا يا أبانا ما لك لا تأمنا على يوسف وإنا له لناصحون. Then they came to father. Oh, our father. What happened? You do not trust us for Yusuf alayhi salam. Dear brother, we've been looking up, we've been playing. I've noticed, and we've noted that some days, for the last weeks and some months and weeks, you are not letting Yusuf go with us. Why is that? All of a sudden, we are brothers. We should take him. He's good enough. He's strong now. He's getting older. He needs to get his muscles, like properly used up in a good action. So we play, we hunt, we run, we compete in this and that. So let him come with us. Now, is that what they really want him to go out as a brotherly team? Obviously not. They lied again. And they actually had the audacity to say to father, you don't trust us. Obviously, for right reason, they should have that. Actually, you are a very intelligent person. You don't trust us for a good reason because we're planning to kill him. Thumbs up for you. You're good there, very good there, protecting your son very well. This is what it should be, isn't it? I mean, you are doing the right thing. And you say, oh, no, you're suspecting. What sort of dad are you? You're suspecting your own son? Us then? How dare you think? See that? You're very emotionally torturing us. This is what you would do, isn't it? You do a wrong thing and then justify it, making it even worse, playing up in the different names, because you think that I'm clever enough to dodge. Allah says, we would take you dodging out, like twisting you on the day of judgment. Then you would know. Subhanallah. Because they wanted to say, no, I don't want to be seen that we've been doing anything wrong. And then they said, أرسله معنا غدا يرتع ويلعب وإنا له لحافظون. Send him next, like tomorrow. We will take him in the morning. He would just have a bit of fun with us. He would play, we would have food together, we would enjoy it. We've got so many animals to graze. The animals will be grazing and we'll just take them to herd. Again, false promise was a sign of hypocrisy. إذا حدث كذب. The three signs. آية المنافق ثلاث. Three signs of a hypocrite. إذا حدث كذب. Whenever he speaks the lie. وإذا وعد أخلف. When he makes a promise, he goes against it. وإذا تُمِنَ خان. When he is entrusted with something, he betrays. The trust is betrayal. The betrayal of the trust has been betrayed here now, isn't it? So that is a sign of hypocrisy. He's making it a trap, making it appealing to father. So dodging father as well, trying to circumvent his understanding. He knows and he's working on his intuition, his knowledge, his experience, the history that he knows about the dream and the attitude of the brothers overall. And he said, no, better no, I don't feel comfortable, don't go. No, your dad, keep coming. Now the second one said, Dad, yes, he's right. And, third one and fourth one, and all of a sudden your dad feel like, who's a prophet, by the way. He feels completely left out. You know what? He feels that, what do I do? I've been cornered by all of them. And then he had no choice but to give the permission. So he said, قال إني ليحزنني أن تذهبوا به وأخاف أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون. He said, truly it saddens me that you should take him. I don't want him to be parting with me. And I fear that a wolf, maybe a wolf can come while you're doing something, some activity. You're a big boy. When you compete in races, we have seen you. You go far, far away. He's only 10. He would just be stuck to that level. If he's left on his own, maybe wolf comes in. So this is Yusuf al-Islam, Yaqub al-Islam is now concerned about. He raised that concern. Father is telling you his concern, a very genuine concern, because you are all big in your 20s and 30s, from teenage onwards, and this is this small. He would never be able to compete with you, and we saw you how angry you get when you are, doing something together in games. The adults, when they play, they can be quite rough, and it becomes life and death situation. No, it was my goal and my turn. And why I was supposed to goal and you were supposed to bat or whatever. In games, people just become crazy. And he showed his concern, and they didn't take any heed to that. They just kept the secret. No one wanted to be called a snitch, so they let it happen at the cost of losing a brother. They were happy to lose a brother. No, I don't want to be called a snitch because that's a bad name to have. Because media says so. Because everyone says so. It's bad. So even at the cost of someone's life, your ego is more important than someone's life, is it? So and people, not just with kids, even adults. Oh, you must have told Dr. Sam. And you must have told him. You are the one who does it all the time. So you're doing something wrong, and you don't want to be known to the teacher or the father or whoever. So actually, Yaqub al-Islam had a dream about this. That's why he mentioned it. He saw 10 wolves attacking Yusuf al-Islam in his dream. That's what he disclosed. His dream, the true dream. He knew that it's going to happen. He tried his best to stop it from happening, but he couldn't. He couldn't. And he was so generous and so, upright that he didn't say to the sons, based on only a dream, that I know you're going to do that. Because you shouldn't. You can't base your judgment on your dream or something that your intuition tells you. So how clever he was and how pious he was, although he knew from the dream that's going to happen, it's Allah's qadr. Allah has written for him. They fell prey to the shaitanic idea. And then, subhanallah. قالوا لئن أكله الذئب ونحن عزبة إنا إذا لخاسرون. Oh Father, if a wolf could take our brother from us while we are young men sitting there, isn't that we are the loser? Are you saying that we have no strength? We can't do anything? You are charging us with like cowardice? Are we useless? Don't you know who are we? Can a wolf take our brother? This is how people start boasting about him. In order to make you feel even, that's oh my goodness. You feel even, although dad knows. Look at the patience and decency of Yaqub alayhi salam. That's only a prophet can do that. If you knew about that, you would slap them. गधे उससे आगे झूठ बोलते कहानियां बनाई भी तुमने प्लान किए होंगे सारे बदमाशों मैंने भी ख्वाब भी देखा इस बारे में कुछ जूते लगा तो हिलोगे भी नहीं just tie them up. पुलिस को बोला जेल में बंद कर. Only a prophet can do that. The contentment they had with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decree, knowingly, whatever bubbles, carry on. They would do whatever is right to do at that time, or whatever happens, they are satisfied with that. Amazing. And they try to then make Yusuf al-Islam, Yaqub al-Islam feel much more, oh, no, don't you worry, we'll be fine, don't you worry. And we do the same, isn't it? فلما ذهبوا به وأجمعوا أن يجعلوه في غيابة الجب وأوحينا إليه لتنبئنهم بأمرهم هذا وهم لا يشعرون. So when they all left, they took him. Yaqub al-Islam's permission is given now. So Yusuf al-Islam was taken by the brothers, so they're all going. So they all agreed to throw him down to the bottom, like in the well, in the middle of the path. They just, you know what, let's go in the direction where we can see this well. We've identified that. Let's throw him in there. And we inspired Yusuf alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then will give this revelation to 10-year-old Yusuf. Indeed, you shall one day inform them of this affair of them. When they know, you know. They don't know. They are just completely ignorant. Means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already satisfied Yusuf alayhi salam. Oh Yusuf, don't worry. They're not going to harm you. They could try whatever, but Allah will save you. And Allah comforted Yusuf alayhi salam. Allah sent Jibreel Amin, and he wasn't a prophet, just to support him, to help him. This is what happens if you're righteous and pious. Allah will help you in whichever way. He didn't do anything against haram. He didn't say anything wrong. Father, nothing wrong. Everything in accordance with Sharia. They all followed the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is why they were the victorious, not the brothers. And we see that in the future. So he was thrown in. So there was water actually. They threw in the well. There was water. So he splashed in the water and he didn't hurt. He could have hurt his head. He could have died straight away. But Allah saved him. Allah saved him through angels. And he was obviously scared in the dark well. You are just fooled by yourself. And he was calling them, please help me. Please don't leave me here. They left. But he had trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He sat there and he sat there until the next day. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent this caravan that came. And subhanallah. So what was the behavior of Yusuf alayhi salam in that tribulation? Was he shouting, crying, banging his head, and then actually, you know, trying to harm himself? Yeah, you've seen people doing that. There are many people who commit suicide because they can't take anymore. The people who just keep watching these games and keep playing that game, and through that they decide, you know what, I can't live any longer. I need to kill myself. And the few of them all jump together. You heard that? Few girls and boys together in their teenage jump from the high building after watching some crazy stuff like that. And they say, you know what? They plot from China. They all jumped from that. They all got. The people could only see them because by the time you go up, you'll be all gone. They all jumped together and died, 7 or 8 of them. وَجَاءُوا أَبَاهُمْ عِشَاءً يَبْكُونَ. And they came to their father crying at night as the evening. Oh, they're crying. قالوا, and they said, يا أبانا إنا ذهبنا نستبق وتركنا يوسف عند متاعنا فأكله الذئب وما أنت بمؤمن لنا ولو كنا صادقين. How wretched! This is just so cruel. They said, oh, our father, we went on this race. We started doing some, you know, running race with each other. And we said, Yusuf, you look after our food and stuff. We're just going there. And we were just doing that. When we came back, you know what? Wolf came and ate Yusuf. And then they said, you know, we know that you're not going to believe. We know that you're not going to believe. This is how you do it. Before anything happened to you. You say, yeah, I know. I'm telling you, you're not going to believe. This is what they said. Pre-planning, anticipation. You know that I shouldn't be believed, and yet you already pretend and start making some preemptive. I know you would never believe. It's emotionally trying to submit that individual, and he thinks before he says the right thing. So they said, you are not going to believe in us, even if we are the truthful person. We knew that you would not believe us. Father, what's the point? I mean, Dad hasn't said anything. You are just mentioning, and you've lost the son, and you're saying that, Dad, you're not going to believe because we know that you don't believe us. You don't trust us. And they brought some fake blood. They killed a ram and got the blood on the Yusuf alayhi salam shirt. So this is what they did. They took the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam before they threw him in the well. And on that, they just put some blood on it. قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا. Look at Yusuf alayhi salam's father, Yaqub alayhi salam, his status, amazing. He said, nay, but your own self, your nafs, your inside, your low self have made up a tale. You have concocted a lie. You are just telling me story. This is nothing right. فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ. He said, the patience is the best thing. Good patience. I'm just being with patience. I would trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَاللَّهُ الْمُسْتَعَانُ عَلَى مَا تَصِفُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who I seek help from. Not you, because I don't have any trust in you. And I don't even think that you are able to understand the gravity of your action, let alone try to mend it. How can I trust you? I just leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lie upon lie, lame excuses, broke the contract, and then saying, Subhanallah. And making father feel guilty. As I said, see, you're not going to believe us, are you? We knew it. You never trust us. That's what we knew. And the shirt was untorn, by the way. They didn't realize that they had to make it some cuts of the Wolf Yusuf al-Islam shirt unbroken with blood on it. And there's some narration where Yaqub al-Islam said, Wolf was very clever. Ate Yusuf al-Islam without damaging the shirt. That's the best thing, isn't it? Means he knew. He understood the plot and lies, yet he remained patient. He trusted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He waited for the right time to rectify the affair of his children rather than shunning them, because he knew, even with this heinous crime, if I push them away, they would become disbeliever, they would just go out. I can corner them, but the damage is done. There's no point talking to them now in this moment with this clear charge. Rather, step back. They are in this mode of jealousy and arrogance. I need to support them. I need to get them out of it. And I can only do that by patience and trusting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, rather than trying to say, no, you know what? I'm going to say it the way it should be said. I'm stepping. I'm calling a spade a spade. You know, all those fancy, crazy ideas. It's unwise because we do it out of arrogance, out of our emotions, anger. Yaqub was wise enough to know when to control the anger. And he could, and he did. No one can do that other than prophets. That's this, or the pious people, obviously, the imams. And that is why he managed to control them. Anyway, the end bit is this. وَجَاءَتْ سَيَّارَةٌ فَأَرْسَلُوا وَارِدَهُمْ فَأَدْلَىٰ دَلْوَهُ قَالَ يَا بُشْرَىٰ هَٰذَا غُلَامٌ وَأَسَرُّوهُ بِالضَّاعَةِ وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِمَا يَفْعَلُونَ. And they came, a caravan of travelers. They sent their water drawer, and he let down his bucket into the well. The person put the bucket down, and he said, because what happened, Yusuf al-Islam, Allah inspired him to sit down in that big bucket. He sat in it, and they could take him out. Was he out? He was so happy. He said, wow, what a lovely, good news. I've got an amazing boy here, a beautiful boy. Remember, Yusuf al-Islam was extremely beautiful. So he was like, and he thought this would be my slave, and I would sell him and I get good money in return. You know, 10-year-old boy could sell and get a good, decent amount. This is what he was planning. So he spent 3 days in the well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala held him and fed him through Jibreel Amin. Caravan was from Syria. They lost the track and they came, shouldn't be tracked, should be tracked with K, and came to the area and found the well. And then they وَشَرَوْهُ بِثَمَنٍ بَخْسٍ دَرَاهِمَ مَعْدُودَةٍ وَكَانُوا فِيهِ مِنَ الزَّاهِدِينَ. And they sold Yusuf al-Islam in Egypt. They took him all the way to Egypt, sold him for few dirham, for few silver coins. Few silver coins. And they were of those who regarded him insignificant. They didn't understand the value of Yusuf al-Islam. Who is this boy? So the benefit is, he was sold according to some narrative for 20 dirhams only. And some say perhaps 40, but anyway, it was initially 40, but then got up to 20. So this is what the story so far is. We'll leave the rest of the story for the next time, inshallah. I hope going through that quickly and understanding some of the salient points, you can develop on that on your own. Think about that and make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us understand the message of Quran, apply it to our lives, change our lives for good. There's so many things you can think about. The more you mull over it and ponder over it, inshallah ta'ala. So let me just stop the recording first.